Welcome to Kanji. Kanji is one of the obstacles that keeps people from wanting to learn Japanese, but it is really not that bad if you take it one step at a time. This channel is dedicated to teaching kanji in the most simple and straightforward way possible. Subscribe to follow along, and make sure to follow other Japan-related YouTubers. This is the kanji for tree. It looks just like a tree. This is the kanji for man, but this version of the man kanji is only used when combining with other kanji symbols. When the man sits underneath the tree for a break, you get the kanji for rest. Sometimes people like to read when they relax underneath trees, so here's the kanji for book. This is the kanji for father. It looks just like a dad holding his two children. If you take a wise father and bring him to the place of books, then you will get the kanji for school. What is kun-yumi? Kun-yumi, or kun reading, is the Japanese pronunciation of kanji symbols. It is used a majority of the time, unless using compound kanji made up of multiple characters. Tree, ki. Person, hito. Book, moto. Father, chichi. People put windows into their home so that the sun can get in, so the kanji for sun looks like this. The moon kanji looks similar, but just as the moon uses gravity to pull the ocean toward it, it does the same thing to your windowsill. Shush! Goddamn cat. If you were to look out your window during a storm... Oh my god. Stop. If you were to look out your window during a storm, you would see the kanji for rain. It looks like it's raining outside. This is the kanji for eye. It may look like the sun at first, but it actually looks more like an eyeball. This is the kanji for see. It looks like an eye looking through its field of vision. Sun, hi. Moon, tsuki. Eye, me. Rain, ame. Sea, muli. There are not many things in this world that are better than gold. Gold is found in mines that are in between mountains. This is exactly what the kanji for gold looks like. Once you get a bunch of gold, you can sell it for a bunch of yen, which is Japan's currency. The kanji for yen is made up for the kanji of a glass jar, so it looks like putting all your change into a jar. Once you get rich, you purchase expensive things. This kanji has meanings like tall, high, or expensive. Imagine that it is a tall snowman who gets high on expensive drugs. This is the kanji for rice. It looks like a rice plant. And easily enough, the kanji for rice fields looks like a rice field. Tall, high, or expensive. Nakai. Gold. Kane. Rice. Kome. Learning kanji can be so fun if you shut the hell up and you watch my videos. This is the kanji for big. It looks just like a tower that's so high that it reaches into the clouds. This is the kanji for heaven. If you take the tower that reaches the clouds and you make it even higher, then it can reach into heaven. This is the kanji for human. It looks just like a person running. This is the kanji for enter. It looks like a guy who's peeking into a portal. It also kind of looks like the symbol for Half-Life. That's just a coincidence because the symbol for Half-Life is actually Greek. This is the kanji for small. It looks like two small fish staring at a hook. This is the kanji for daybreak. As you can see, it is a combination of the sun and 1. But in this circumstance, the 1 is just supposed to help make it look like the sun is going over the horizon. The kanji for 1 is used often as just a visual. This is the kanji for hand. It looks kind of like a hand. Why there are 6 fingers, I'm not quite sure. Here is the kanji for soil. It looks like a plant growing out of the ground. When you combine the kanji for man and soil, you get the kanji for work. The kanji for left uses the kanji for work. Imagine that your work should be done with only your left hand. This is the kanji for 10. It looks like the T in the word 10. This is the kanji for again. It is also the kanji for crotch. It looks like a person sitting in a position that lets you see their crotch.
Very appealing.
Okay then. If you take the kanji for 10 and crotch, you get the kanji for support. As you can see, this pimp takes care of many crotches. He is their supporter. If you combine support with hand, you get the kanji for technique. It looks like a guy using his hands to make something with an anvil. If you take the kanji for support and combine it with the tree, you will get the kanji for branch. It is easy to remember because branches support trees. This is the kanji for mouth. As you can see, it looks a lot like a mouth. I apologize for this disgusting picture. Here, let me replace it with a better one. There we go. This is the kanji for fire. It is a combination of person and 2 drops, but I don't think that's actually important to know because it just basically looks like a fire.
Dude, just shut up.
In fact, to me, it kind of looks like the fire from... If you combine the kanjis for fire and mouth, then you get the kanji for crater of a volcano, which is basically just a hole in a volcano. So like a mouth of a volcano. Yeah.
Creativity.
This is the kanji for heel. Not heel as in heal somebody, like heel as in foot. It looks like a foot. There you go. That's all you gotta know. It's only used in kanjis like transform. Here's transform. It's just a combination of person and heel. I don't know what those two have to do with each other, but if you look here, this man is actually a transformer. Ah, I bet you didn't know that. If you take the kanji for transform and you add a flower top on top of it, then you get the kanji for flower. And if you take flower and you combine it with fire, then you get fireworks, which look like flowers. And death. This is the kanji for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There are 2 ways to pronounce numbers in Japanese. The most common way is Sino-Japanese. It is used when counting things, actions, or events. You will use this for currency in Japan, so it is debatably the most important one to learn. Starting from 0 to 10, here is the Sino-Japanese pronunciations. 0, Ichi, Ni, San, Shi, or Yon. The second version is used in certain circumstances. You will learn them as you go along. Go, Roku, Shichi, or Nana, Hachi, Kyo, or Ku, Ju. The second way of pronouncing these numbers is called native Japanese. It is used when counting people. Do not count people with the other set of numbers. Here are the pronunciations in order from 1 to 10. Hitotsu, Futatsu, Mitsu, Yotsu, Itsutsu, Mutsu, Nanatsu, Yatsu, Kokonotsu. Here is the kanji for 100. Or momo in native. This is the kanji for 1000. It is pronounced sen, or chi in native. This is the kanji for old man, or old age or growing old. It is a combination of the kanji for heel and dizziness. At least I think it's dizziness. If you combine the kanji for old man and sun, then you will get hot. I guess when old men are out in the sun they get hot or something. I don't know, it's kind of a weird combination, but it works. This is the kanji for cold. It is made up of crown, 3 stooges? I don't really know. Some of these kanji teaching websites that I use as references are actually very terrible. I won't make any names though, so I guess it's Three Stooges. Maybe it means 3 friends, or just 3 people in general. But anyway, and if you also combine it with chill, then that's what makes up the kanji for cold. I guess it kind of looks like a cold hallway or something that someone's walking down. Old man, old age, or grown old. Oiru, or fukuru. Hot. Atsui. Cold. Samui. This is the kanji for autumn, or fall. It is a combination of tree and fire, just like trees in the falls are the colors of fire crotches. Here's the kanji for early. It is made up of sun and 10. The sun rises at 10 in the morning, which is really early. Here's the kanji for morning. Not morning as in crying the death of your entire family by rabid walruses, but morning as in the beginning of the day. The kanji for quote a source looks like this. If you are a name-dropping D-bag, you would use this one quite a bit. This is the kanji for meeting. It is where everyone joins under one roof to say quotes and stuff. Fun.
Stop! This is the kanji for stop!
Here's the kanji for foot, or satisfy. This will make a lot of sense if you are one of those out there who has a foot fetish. This is the kanji for tomorrow. The bigger sun is the one that comes after the moon, showing that it is the day after today. This is the kanji for gate. It kind of looks like a gate. Here are the kanji for open and close. This here is the kanji for bean, like the vegetable bean. This kanji has 2 meanings. When it's by itself, it means shellfish, like little tiny creatures that live in shells that are also fish. When combined with other kanji, it means money. So be sure to remember that when using it. And lastly, here is the kanji for head. It is a combination of bean and money. Because we are human beings who love money. This is the kanji for older brother. It is a mouth with legs. That is a pretty scary looking brother. The kanji for younger brother looks maybe a bit like a little brother that's going down a playground slide. Here is the kanji for woman. It looks like the curves of a woman. The kanji for town or market kind of looks like a market a little bit. And when combined with woman, it makes up the kanji for older sister, because the older sister likes to shop a lot. This is the kanji for not yet. It is a tree with a line through it. The tree is not yet done growing. When you combine woman with not yet, you get the kanji for younger sister. Your younger sister is not yet a woman, unless she's 60. This title right here is an icon that defines a lot of our childhoods and living rooms with pissed off friends and Mountain Dew everywhere. With Smash Bros. For the Wii U on its way, I thought it'd be interesting to shake things up a bit and take a look at the kanji that is made up of the title for the game in Japan. So let's break it down. In Japan, Super Smash Bros. Actually goes by a slightly different name, Dairanto Smash Brothers. Dairanto is a word made up of Dai-ran-to. Dai is the kanji for big, grand, or super. Ran is a combination of the kanji for tongue and hook. It means disorder, riot, or war. And to is made from gate, bean, and measurement, and it means fight. When you read this though, you combine ran and to. Together they mean free-for-all, or melee. The definition of melee is a confused fight, or a confused mass of people. So altogether, Tyranto means a big confusing fight with a bunch of people. This definitely defines what the game feels like, especially with the new 8-player fights coming out. So there you go, there's the logo that describes it all. I'll be seeing you later on Dairanto Smash Brothers. This is the kanji for mountain. It looks like a mountain too. The kanji for direction looks like a guy pointing in a direction. When you combine the sun and moon, you get the kanji for bright or clear. Both the moon and the sun make it bright enough to see around us. The kanji for king has a story behind it. The 3 vertical lines represent heaven, men, and earth. The line going down is the king who connects the 3 together. This is the kanji for master. It is king with a drop on top of it. Akihabara is the grand central area of the world for all things that make you have less of a social life. Video games, anime, and weirder things all reside in this large area located in Japan. Today we are going to look at how Akihabara got the name Akihabara. But before we look into the 3 symbols that make up the word, let's go through a few kanji beforehand. This right here is the kanji for society, generation, or world. And here's the kanji for cliff. It kind of looks like a cliff too. When you combine sun and drop, you get the kanji for white. The first part of Akihabara is Aki, which means autumn. The second part is Haba, which means leaf. It is made from the kanji flower top, generation, and tree. The last part is Hara. Hara is made up of cliff, white, and small. It means meadow. So altogether, Akihabara means field of autumn leaves. In 1869, there was a fire that destroyed the area. On the ashes, a shrine called Chinkasha was built to prevent the spread of any future fires. The local people called it Akiba, which is the name of a god who could supposedly control fire. Shortly after, the area became known as Akihabara. So there you go. There is the story behind one of the coolest man-made sites of Japan. I hope to go there someday to see it myself, but until then, see you guys later.
Fly away, fly away.
The symbols you see around the Dragon Ball universe look pretty frickin' sweet, but did you know that they're also kanji? So let's get down to learning what each one of them means. Master Roshi's kanji, or kame, is made up of the kanji for fish and dragon tail. It's the kanji given to all who train under Master Roshi. So you see like Goku and Krillin wearing this all the time. Goku's kanji is actually pronounced Go. This means wisdom or enlightenment. It is made from the kanji for heart, 5, and mouth. And the 5 and the mouth put together can mean the 5 senses. So when you take all the emotions and the little feelers you get inside your heart that bounce around, you get that enlightenment and wisdom that Goku is known so well for. King Kai, or Kaio, is actually not a real symbol, but it is a combination of 2 kanjis, world and king. It means world king, if anybody was wondering, which is actually what King Kai is. You know, his little planet and whatever. But that's all we got for today, but if you want to see some more kanji videos in the future...
This is Naka, or sometimes Chu. It means middle, as in the actual middle of something, or in the middle of doing something. You will see it in words like Yo no Naka, which means world, in a sense that's referring more towards the society and everyday life on the world instead of meaning the world itself, like the one from last episode. Manaka, meaning the very center, or the true middle. Chushi, which means cancelled, or Chugakko, as in middle school. Breaking Bad was Chushi, even though it was a beacon of hope and the chew of crap. I wish I watched it more when I was in Chugakko. If you have been here for a while, you are probably sick of this here symbol. Well, it does have a story behind it, and why I use it as my logo, whether it is infringement of copyright or not. It is pronounced kan and means simplicity. It is made up of bamboo and interval of time. The story is that bamboo is one of the fastest and easiest things that can be grown in Asia, so it was seen as a great place to start for beginner farmers. When I was making my first few videos, I wanted it to be on a new channel, so I thought the name of the channel should be a play on words with kanji and Zachary or Zach, which is my name. So I thought, hey, I'll call it Kanji. Get it? When I learned that the kanji for kan meant simplicity, my mind was blown. I didn't even try, and the name Kanji is a double meaning, so that's always pretty neat. You will see it in the word kantan, which means simple. Simple like this channel and my love life. This here is ko, or shiri. Shiri means butt, hips, buttocks, fart box, rear, hindquarters, romp, tush, hams, jump deposit, cheeks, gluteus maximus, you get it. You will see shiri in a few words like o shiri. This just means the same thing, but it is specifically as a noun. You will see o in front of a lot of kanji actually, so don't freak out. Just knock them down like you were Irish yourself, kinda like O'Reilly.
Do it live! Fuck it!
Or Obama. O shiri pen pen, which means spanking. Shiojiri, which means cone-shaped. How do we get cone-shaped out of shio and the kanji for ass? Nah, maybe it'll make more sense if we know what shio means. Let's see. It means salt. What? Okay, I'm done. I give up. This here is moto, gen, or gan. It means beginning, a former time, or origin. You will see it in a few words like Ochugen, which means Bon Festival Gifts. The Bon Festival is a Japanese Buddhist festival meant to honor the spirits of your ancestors. The annual festival lasts about 3 days. There's a reason Japan does not have work days off for holidays. If they had them all off, they would never get anything done. Like America, and we only have like 5 holidays a year, so what is our excuse? 3 Jigen, also known as 3D. The Nintendo's 3DS screen is 3 Jigen. The new 3DS's 3 Jigen won't suck like it currently does. I can imagine that this word would also be pronounced San Jigen, as San is 3, and one-dimensional is pronounced Ichigen, so that would make sense, but I'm only throwing out a wild guess there. This is Nichi, or Jitsu. It is the kanji for day or sun. You will be finding this groovy kanji in the words like Setsunichi, which means time limit or deadline. Kanji's Setsunichi is usually anywhere between Thursday and Friday, but sometimes Saturday likes to just come along and ruin that. What? It's not my fault that time moves forward on its own. Speaking of being a day late, Akuru Nichi, which means the next day. We also got Itsuno Nichi Nika. This word means one of these days. Itsuno Nichi Nika, I will make another video that will get over 300 views, but hopefully never 0. This here kanji is tan, dan, or akira. It means mourning. Not mourning the death of your loved ones by... Oh wait, I already said that joke, never mind. You will see it in words like gatsuten, which means first day of the month. Or you'll see it in itan, meaning once, temporarily, or for a moment. It could also mean one morning, obviously. I mean, if it isn't obvious, that means that you must watch more Kanji. Click here for episode 8 on numbers and hope. Merry Christmas from Kanji in Iowa. Kanji is not the easiest thing to do in the world, and it is understandable to be afraid of learning over 2,000 different symbols. Here are 6 tips for learning kanji and Japanese in general. Keep in mind that this is just my advice and should not be seen as more than that. Not all of these tips will relate to everybody. Number 1. Don't worry about the strokes. Kanji symbols are made by creating a certain number of strokes in a certain order. A lot of books and websites will try to stress you on this, making you feel like it's important. And it may be important if you are already comfortable with the Japanese and you are trying to get a master's degree in kanji. But if that is not the case, then you would be wasting your time and short-term memory capacity by trying to memorize all of this. It would be like trying to learn America's presidents by memorizing what color boots they wore. When it comes to learning kanji fast and easy, it is best to omit anything that would slow you down. Knowing how many strokes are in the kanji for dog won't help you read a Japanese newspaper anytime soon. Number 2. Pay attention to the kanji that make up kanjis. There are about 300 kanjis called radicals. They are used for creating most of the other thousands of kanjis out there. This means that the more you learn kanji, the more you will be able to look at other symbols you've never seen before and probably get a good idea of what it means. This is something that a lot of people don't realize when starting. The more you learn, the faster and easier the process becomes. It is proof that hard work pays off in the long run. Number 3. Don't try so hard to memorize. There are some people who will say that writing the same kanji over and over and over again will help it to stick in your mind forever. But you could spend an hour memorizing the same kanji over and over again, and then spend about 10 minutes reviewing 20 different kanjis, and you will see that you remember them just as well as you remember the one that you spent so much time on. There is way too much to do and too much to learn to spend so much time on such a small amount of kanjis. It is better to learn a whole bunch of them and forget a few than it is to learn a few and not ever forget them. You know what I mean. Number 4. One learning source is not enough. Kanji may be the savior to mankind, and I know I am awesome. There is so much to learn that not one source can teach it all. Books and classes may try to jam it all in, but it ends up feeling half-assed and cluttered. To get the best of all worlds, you need to expand your library and information outlets. Kanji only focuses on symbols, but not on how to pronounce them in Japanese, or to write them in their hiragana or katakana counterparts. Get yourself some flashcards, books, and classes, and follow a few of the tons of YouTubers who are doing their own style of teaching. You will find out that there is quite a cult of Japanese lovers here on YouTube, and all of them are very willing to teach you a lot. They are also very supportive and passionate about what they do. Number 5. Do not take breaks. It is easy to just say, today I'll skip my lesson because I'm too tired or my family was killed by rabid walruses. Even if you only spend about 10 minutes a day, 5 days a week on studies, which is not a bad amount, and you decide to start skipping out on a few days, you are just begging to lose your steam and well-formed habit that you work so hard to latch onto. Keep practicing every day. Number 6. This one will probably not settle well with some people, but here we go. Don't set goals, and don't learn Japanese to achieve a certain goal. This tip is the opposite of everything you were ever taught, and I'm probably the only one to ever say this, but let me explain. Let's say that you are learning Japanese because your goal is to go to Japan for a week, but you realize that not only do you not need to really know a lot of Japanese in order to survive in Japan, or maybe your plans to go to Japan fell through altogether, and you no longer get to go. All of a sudden, you no longer need to learn Japanese, or you get to put it off for another year because your goal isn't for quite a while. Life is very unpredictable. Dreams and goals will be shattered, changed, or evolved. So if you can't drive yourself consistently with goals and dreams, what reason should you learn Japanese? Well, the answer to this is, there should be no reason.
Why do you take time out of your day to learn a language?
There is no reason. You do it because it's a habit. If someone says something that really makes you feel like you can't learn another language because you're too stupid, well, you know what? It doesn't matter, because you're going to do it anyway. This learning is taking forever. It feels like I'm not getting anywhere. It doesn't matter. I'm going to do it anyway. There is no end. There is no goal. There's no time limit. It's not a race. There's no one to race against. It's just you learning Japanese. It's just you going to Japan. And when people try to rationalize it, or ask you why you would want to do something so expensive, random, pointless, or stupid, you know what you tell those people? I don't know. Everything you do doesn't need to be justified or explained to people. A lot of people won't understand your love for Japan, or even just your interest in the Japanese culture or language. They'll try to make you feel stupid for wanting to learn something like this, and it will really get you down. But at the end of the day, if you make learning Japanese a habit, something that you just do, then no matter how depressed you get, no matter how down you're feeling, or how well you're feeling, it all stays the same. You just keep on learning over and over, every day. This is something that people can't take away from you. And overall, you will end up on top. I can promise you that.
Just from watching, as soon as I watched the intro where I watched the channel introduction video, I thought, wow, this guy's got incredible production value. He has great quality videos. I mean, a little bit of everything. Stuff. Very, very well-produced videos. Good job on you, Kanji.
Welcome to Kanji, the weekly series for learning kanji and other stuff. This kanji right here is shi, su, or ko. When you combine it with the kanji tomo, you get kodomo, which means child. And here is isu, which means chair. You will also see it in boshi, meaning hat or cap. Now go use this kanji and I'll see you next week.